Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today's video I'll be reviewing this. This is YOLO Park's Transformers Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal model kit. Special thanks to YOLO Park for providing this kit for me to review. I'll put a link in the description below to their website along with some places where you can order this kit. So here is Optimus Primal in his box. Now earlier I did a review of their Optimus Prime model kit. I'll put a link to that review in the description below if you want to check it out. But now we have Optimus Primal. There's actually 3 kits in their very first wave. There was Optimus Prime, Optimus Primal, and Bumblebee, all from the Rise of the Beast Transformers movie that is coming up next month. That being said, let's take a look at the box. Just like the Optimus Prime packaging, I really liked what they did for Optimus Primal. Very nice box art of him in robot mode in the front. And over here you can see him in his gorilla mode. On the side, you can see him in gorilla mode. And then on the bottom and the top, just the logo for Rise of the Beast. You can see him in robot mode on the other side. And on the back, you can see the figure, how it separates. But let's get this guy out of the box. Here is Optimus Primal out of the package, and just like their Optimus Prime model kit, I really like the presentation. You can see all the parts are nicely organized here. And here is his instruction sheet. Again, 1 page for Primal, front and the back. Let's take a look at the head sculpt here. That's where I started with Optimus Prime, and very nice and clean. Paint apps. You can see the painted eyes. Nice detail all around. Now, one thing that he has that Optimus Prime didn't have is an alternate face. So here's the alternate face. And let's try to swap it out here. Let's take a look at the instructions before I break something. Okay, so you can see the head, you got to lift up the top off here. I gotta say, getting this open the first time is very hard. Took a while for me to get my fingernail. Probably need a spudger in the future, but barely able to do it with my nail. But you can see the top of the head comes off, and then once that top is pulled out, this comes out very easily. So just take a look at the 2 faces side by side. Mouthpiece and no mouthpiece. So I guess if you want the more traditional original Beast Wars Optimus Primal look with the mouthpiece, you can swap it, and this goes back on very tightly. To be honest, it's very secure. I think between the 2 I prefer without the mouth though, so I'm going to swap it back. So I got the face swapped out. One thing I would suggest, just be very careful on where you grab if the top of the head is too tight. You don't want to accidentally bend the ears here. Highly recommend using a spudger, a plastic spudger. Very difficult to remove the top with your fingernails. Well, at least it was for me. Let's take a look at the detail on the chest here. See, nice maximal symbol here. Similar mechanics in the way it's constructed to Optimus Prime. You know, you have these little holes that the parts can go into and just snap in. You get a bunch of nice molded detail here. Again, it is a model kit, so if you want to go back to it around it and do some highlighting or dry brushing to highlight the edges, you could, but out of the box it looks really nice. This becomes the torso. I like how it's painted here. It does have these swords. Let's actually take them out before we begin the whole build process. Molded in black, painted in this nice silver. I believe, yeah, they can combine. You can see there's a little notch here. You can put them together. Just like Optimus Prime, he does come with several hands. So he has these two hands for the swords, like a grabbing hand. You have a closed fist here, a pointing hand, and another open grabbing hand. So we get the rest of the parts out and get them nicely organized for assembly. Okay, I got all of Primal's parts out here ready for assembly. Let's start with the head and the torso, which just is a simple ball joint here that you can pop the head into. Again, be careful where you hold on to. You don't want to damage or bend the ears. So there you go. Pops in very nicely. Next, we'll do the assembly of the arms, which is just 3 pieces. You have the shoulder part here, and that just pops in. Again, you want to be careful on how you hold on to it. It takes a bit of initial force at first, so you want to hold on to areas that are not going to give way. Like you don't want to put force on certain parts of the armor if they are not as solid in terms of the connector here. You can see holding on to this part is a lot better than holding on to here, because you could slip and accidentally snap off the armor. And there you go. Because yeah, you can see this part of the armor also moves. It's on a little ball joint, so it has a little motion there. I'm going to put the hands that can hold a sword. There you go. First arm is done. Let's take a closer look at it. Nice detail here. I like how the side part opens. Okay, let's get the second arm done. Again, holding this area because it does take a little bit of force. And there you go. The other hand that can hold a sword. Let's move on to the torso. There's a little flap here. Let's get that out of the way. And it simply just plugs in like so. And we can push this down. And he does have this little butt piece. And the torso is all done. Moving on to the legs. We have this armor piece that goes here. Again, being careful not to put force on any place else. You can see this gets in the way, so I gotta move the knee out of the way a bit. And then I can put the armor, because the knee is gonna go over the armor, the kneecap at least. There you go. And then the shin guard. And then his foot. Very nice detail here. You can see a little mechanism. Very cool. Okay, let's get the other leg done. Same thing. Open it up a bit to get the kneecap out of the way. And plug it in. Let's get the shin guard done. And last but not least, the other foot. With the last leg done, let's put it all together. Okay, starting with the arms, you can pop them in here, like so. The other arm. His leg. And his other leg. And here is Optimus Primal fully assembled. Let's take a closer look at him here. Check in the details. You can see head sculpt is really nice. Loving all the details on this figure. As if there was some battle damage down here. And on the arms. The finish is very nice and clean. Down to the legs. And here on the back, all in all, a very nice, clean robot with a lot of detail. See back here, there's a little flap here. So it can move as it articulates on this area. There are some panels here that can move up and down, back and forth here. Moving on to articulation of the figure, the head is on a ball joint at 2 points over here and down here. So a lot of head movement. Of course, this collar piece gets in the way. The arm can rotate 360. Has a little butterfly joint here because it's on a little ball. The shoulder can lift up by lifting this panel here and lifting the shoulder all the way up this high. You can rotate at the bicep here. You can bend at the elbow more than 90 degrees. There's a little flap here that is on a small ball joint that can go back and forth. The hand is on a ball joint, so you can rotate and move left and right and up and down. He can tilt at the chest left and right and has a little bit of an ab crunch. He can rotate at the waist back and forth. You can do the splits. If you do the drop down, you can go further down with the splits. You can rotate at the thigh back and forth. You can kick this far up, even further when the leg is dropped down more. You can kick this far back because this plate gets in the way. You can bend at the knee at 2 points. You see that little mechanism there, moves along with it. You can rotate at the foot left and right and up and down, and has ankle tilt. He does also have some articulation on this part of the feet. I guess these are like his toes or something. And his toe here can go up and down. He does come with several hands that easily pop in and pop out, like so. And he does come with these 2 swords that he can hold on these hands, 2 of the hands, like so. Or combine them by putting it all the way in and then attaching the other sword. And now he has this long staff-like weapon. Now, while the line says he is 20 centimeters, which is roughly a little under 8 inches, Primal does stand a little taller than 8 inches from head to toe. Here he is next to Yolo Park's AMK Optimus Prime, who is slightly taller than Optimus Primal. And just to compare him with a mainline Transformer, here he is next to Earthrise Optimus Prime. So my final thoughts on Yolo Park's Optimus Primal. Overall, I am pretty pleased with this figure. It is a model kit, a very simple one. I mean, you do have to put it together, but it's nowhere near as complicated as a regular Gundam model kit. The build is satisfying, quick. The results looks great. I mean, the finish, the paint apps, the detail on the figure itself, it looks awesome all around. The articulation with the figure is great. I mean, there's very little that I can find negative with this figure. I will say, though, just be careful. I mean, even though it kind of feels like an action figure, when assembling it, sometimes it can take some force. So you got to be careful where you hold the figure or parts of it. That way you're not putting stress unintentionally while pushing it into the different pegs, or like with the head. Mine's was very tight, so you want to be careful that when you're opening it up, you're not accidentally damaging the figure. But other than that, I mean, it is a great figure. The results are nice. I'm glad it comes with its weapons, unlike Optimus Prime. So to me, that is a plus. And while the overall look is, I would say it's complete, there's room if you want to customize it more, like if you want to do some highlighting, some dry brushing, or some weathering. Definitely some room for that with this figure with all the surface detail on it. Anyway, that is it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and thanks for watching.